Silverpine Lake, a peaceful vacation spot in northern Minnesota. Families visit here every year. Fishermen travel from other states, and the locals say the lake has never harmed anyone. But in the summer of 2018, everything changed. This story is about a hidden door beneath the lake, a missing tourist, and a secret that had been buried for nearly 3 decades. Today's crime tale is called The Forgotten Door of Silverpine Lake, a case that proves sometimes the calmest waters hide the darkest truths. On June 12, 2018, 29-year-old Lucas Bennett arrived at Silverpine Lake for a weekend alone. He lived in Chicago, worked at a software company, and had been dealing with anxiety after the end of a long relationship. Nature was his escape. He rented Cabin 7, a wooden lakeside house with a dock stretching directly into the water. The rental owner, Mr. Burnham, handed him the keys. "Storm season is starting," Burnham said. "Stay away from the rocks after dark. The lake rises fast." Lucas nodded. He wasn't planning to go anywhere near the water at night anyway, or so he thought. That evening, Lucas recorded a video message for his sister, Emma. "Made it safe. The place is quiet, maybe too quiet, but I think it's what I need." He smiled weakly. That was the last video he ever sent. Rain hit the roof. Thunder rolled. At 11:47 p.m., Liz texted Emma again. "Do you know anything about a trapdoor? I think there's one under the dock." Emma didn't see the message until the next morning. Under the dock? The cabins weren't supposed to have anything like that. At midnight, a fisherman camping nearby heard something strange. His statement later read, "Sounded like someone knocking under the boards, like wood on wood." He assumed it was the storm, but something else had knocked back. The next morning, the cabin owner found Lucas' rental car still in the driveway. The dock was wet, one shoe lay at the edge, and the lake was quiet to quiet. Burnham called the police. Deputy Harper Lowe, 36, was assigned to the case. When she entered the cabin, she noticed something immediately. Lucas' phone lay on the table, recording. The last 35 seconds of audio were chilling. A creaking sound, metal turning, a muffled voice whispering, "Not again," then water splashing violently. The recording ended with a hollow bang. Deputy Lowe replayed it 3 times. Silverpine locals had a story one they joked about, but secretly feared.
They claimed that beneath the lake, built in the 1950s, was an old mining access door abandoned, flooded, and sealed forever. But some said the door wasn't sealed. Some said it opened when the lake was angry. Deputy Lowe thought it was superstition, until she walked under the dock and saw something metallic deep below the surface. A rectangular outline, a rusted hinge, and an old handle. A door. Her heart pounded. Had Lucas tried to open it? A dive team arrived that afternoon. Visibility underwater was low. Mud swirled. Plants brushed their legs. But diver number 3 surfaced quickly, shaking. "There's something down there," he gasped. "The door is real and it's open." Open. They widened the opening and entered. The passage was narrow, metallic, and wet. Rust flakes fell like rain. Then, they saw scratch marks on the wall, human fingernail scratches, and the initials, LB Lucas Bennett. But no body, just deeper darkness ahead. The divers continued deeper, discovering a hallway leading upward, not downward. This meant water hadn't filled the entire structure. Someone had drained parts of it recently. The deeper they went, the colder it became. Their flashlights flickered. The metal creaked overhead, groaning like something alive. Then they reached a room. Inside lay a table, handcuffs, a broken lantern, and dozens of water-damaged photos pinned on the walls. All photos showed one thing: visitors, tourists, people standing near the lake, unaware they were being watched and photographed. Lucas was in 3 of the photos. One diver vomited in his mask. An old jacket with a name tag sat on the floor. Gregory Shaw. Deputy Lowe recognized the name. Gregory Shaw was a miner who vanished in 1989. Search teams gave up, assuming he'd drowned in the mine collapse. But he hadn't. He survived. And he stayed for 29 years. Living under Silverpine Lake, watching people, learning their schedules, choosing victims. The rooms they explored were living quarters beds, food cans, A calendar filled with X marks, each X corresponding to reported disappearances near the lake over the years. And the last date marked June 12, 2018, the day Lucas arrived. As the divers prepared to leave, a metal clang echoed from the darkness. Something moved. Someone. Deputy Lowe shouted into the radio, "Get out! Now!" But diver number 2 screamed underwater. A figure lunged from the hallway, thin, pale, hair long like seaweed, eyes wide. Gregory Shaw. He grabbed diver 2's leg, yanking him deeper into the shadows. Another diver hit Shaw with a flashlight, and he disappeared into the black. The team escaped through the door, dragging the injured diver, their breaths shaking. Deputy Lowe ordered the mine sealed immediately with reinforced steel. But she knew Shaw wasn't dead. He had survived 29 years down there. He could survive again. The lake remained under police lockdown. Boats scanned the water. Sonar equipment monitored for underwater movement. At dawn, a patrol discovered something washed onto the shore, wet, waterlogged, muddy. A backpack. Inside, Lucas' wallet, his phone, and a note, written messily, barely readable. "He took me. The walls move. Don't open the door. He's not alone." Deputy Lowe froze. Not alone? Was there someone else living with Shaw? Another survivor? Or another victim forced to help him? While reviewing the mine room photos again, Lowe noticed something she'd missed earlier. In the corner of one picture, half hidden behind a beam, stood a woman, thin, pale, hair messy, staring straight at the camera. She wasn't tied. She wasn't gagged. She looked aware, alive, maybe even helping him. Had Shaw kidnapped someone years ago and forced her to stay? The legends, the strange vanishings, the knocking under the docks, it all fit. Lucas wasn't the first, and he wouldn't be the last unless they acted fast. Against all warnings, Deputy Lowe volunteered to join the second dive team herself. She needed to see what was inside the deeper tunnels. This time, they entered through a side vent discovered by sonar. It led to a new chamber, larger, colder, the ceiling dripping constantly. Inside was something horrifying. A chair bolted to the floor. Straps. Tools. A camera facing the chair. Hundreds of Polaroid photos scattered everywhere. Some showed Shaw. Some showed the woman. Some showed victims. One showed Lucas tied to the chair, eyes open, alive. The timestamp: 12:08 a.m. the night he vanished. Lowe's stomach twisted. Lucas had been held here, alive, terrified. And still, no body. Fresh mud on the metal floor. Footprints. 2 sets. Shaw and the woman, both leading into a narrow tunnel. The divers followed cautiously, Lowe behind them with a flashlight. Then a sudden noise. A metal slam. The tunnel shook. Shaw had sealed the exit. They had walked into a trap. The divers panicked, pounding on the walls. Water started pouring from cracks. They had minutes to escape. Lowe screamed, "Back! Go back!" They hurried through the collapsing passage, the water rising fast. One diver was swept off his feet but grabbed by another. They barely made it out through an emergency hatch and surfaced gasping for air. The tunnel collapsed behind them, and whatever was inside was buried again. But still no trace of Lucas. No body, nothing. Silverpine reopened. Tourists returned. Families paddled on the lake. Life resumed. Deputy Lowe, however, couldn't let it go. She visited the lake every week, watching the water, listening for a sound she dreaded, knocking. Then, on August 3rd, she heard it. 3 knocks. Slow, hollow, coming from under her boat. Her radio crackled. A panicked officer yelled, "Deputy Lowe, someone just saw a man near cabin 7. White hair, thin, soaking wet. He ran into the woods." Lowe froze. Shaw survived. Of course he did. And he wasn't done. That night, Lowe reviewed Lucas' phone again. She found something she hadn't noticed before. A deleted audio file restored from the cloud. Timestamp: 11:50 p.m., the night he vanished. Lucas whispered, "There's someone under the dock. He's talking to someone else. I hear a woman. I think the door is opening." Then a loud bang. Then nothing. The woman was real. Lucas had heard her. Was she a prisoner? A partner? Both? The case remained open. Silverpine Lake looks peaceful today. Tourists laugh. Children play. Kayaks drift across calm water. But the water remembers. And sometimes the lake knocks back. The forgotten door of Silverpine Lake is sealed again. But people still report strange sounds at night, echoes beneath the dock, footsteps near cabin 7, and wet footprints leading into the woods, but never out. Gregory Shaw was never caught. Lucas Bennett was never found. And the woman in the photo remains a mystery to this day. When you visit Silverpine Lake, listen carefully, because the lake might listen back.